Welcome to the world of science fiction where extraordinary tales come to life. Enjoy the journey. The Vorathi warship Eclipse hung in the void like a dagger poised to strike. Its obsidian hull swallowed starlight, a monument to the Empire's hunger for conquest. Inside its sterile interrogation chamber, Lyra Vera sat chained to a floating restraint table, her wrists raw from the energy cuffs. She was the last human. The last flicker of the species the Vorathi had erased from history. Across from her, Commander Dralkovis, a towering Vorathi with iridescent scales and cold silver eyes, studied her like a specimen. "You fascinate me, Lyra Vera," he said, his voice a synthetic growl. "A creature of flesh, yet your DNA carries anomalies no other species possesses." Lyra spat on the floor. The acidic saliva sizzled against the metal, another human trait the Vorathi hadn't anticipated. "You talk too much for a glorified lizard," she muttered. Dral didn't flinch. Defiance, a documented human trait. "But tell me." He leaned closer. "Why were you hiding in the ruins of Krylos 9? What were you protecting?" Lyra's chest tightened. They didn't know. They had no idea what was buried inside her. A door hissed open, and scientist Verisol, a slender biomechanical Vorathi with neural tendrils snaking down her back, entered, holding a pulsating scanner. "The neural probe is ready, Commander. We'll extract her memories within the hour." Dral nodded. "Do it. I want to know why the High Council fears her." Lyra clenched her fists. They were going to rip her mind apart. But as the scanner hummed to life, something deep within her DNA stirred. A voice, ancient and mechanical, whispered in her skull. Activation sequence initiated. "Welcome back, Lyra Vera. Shall we show them what humanity left behind?" The scanner's needle-thin tendrils slithered toward Lyra's temples, their tips glowing a venomous blue. Scientist Verisol adjusted the holographic display, her neural tendrils twitching with anticipation. "Begin extraction," she ordered. Lyra thrashed against her restraints. "Don't. You don't know what you're waking up." Dral smirked. Fear, another human weakness. The probes pierced her skin. A white-hot scream tore through Lyra's skull. The visions begin. Her mind fractured into flashes. A dying Earth. Cities crumbled under blackened skies. The last ships fleeing into the void. A child's hand slipping from hers in the chaos. A voice, synthetic and sorrowful. "The Vorathi came for our worlds. We fought. We lost. But we left something behind." The memory shifted. A vault buried deep in Krylos 9, its walls etched with human symbols. Inside, a pulsing core of liquid light hummed a familiar tune. Her tune. The Vorathi's mistake. Verisol gasped as the scanner overloaded. "Commander, her memories aren't just neural imprints. They're encoded in her DNA." The machine whined, its screens glitching. Lyra's eyes snapped open, now glowing gold. The voice in her head roared. They wanted to see. "Show them." A shockwave erupted from Lyra's body. The probes shattered. The Vorathi soldiers collapsed, clutching their heads as human history flooded their minds. Dral staggered, his silver eyes wide with horror. This isn't just a memory. It's a transmission. The awakening. The ship's alarms blared. The walls trembled. From the depths of Krylos 9, something answered. The Eclipse shuddered as if something massive had grabbed it from the outside. Lights flickered, consoles spat sparks, and the air itself vibrated with a deep, resonant hum, like the awakening of something ancient. Lyra's body floated an inch above the interrogation table, her restraints snapping apart like brittle twigs. Golden light pulsed beneath her skin, veins glowing like molten circuits. The Vorathi soldiers backed away, weapons trembling in their claws. "What is she?" one of them hissed. Dralkovis wiped blackened blood from his nose. The backlash from the memory probe had ruptured his cranial implants. "Not a she anymore," he growled. "A weapon." The core remembers. Inside Lyra's mind, the voice. now fully unshackled, spoke in clear, cold binary. Directive confirmed. Host species under threat. Activating defense protocol. Echo of Soul. The ship's AI screamed a warning. Unidentified energy surge from Krylos 9. It's answering her. Outside the viewports, the dead planet's surface cracked open. A beam of white fire lanced into the sky, striking the Eclipse's hull. The Vorathi scrambled as the entire ship lurched, artificial gravity failing for 3 terrifying seconds before resetting. Verisol's neural tendrils flared in panic. She's transmitting the signal. Not just to us, to every Vorathi ship in the system. The first death. A young soldier, his scales still dull with youth, raised his pulse rifle. Die, human. The shot never left the barrel. Lyra's head turned, slow, precise, and her gaze locked onto him. The soldier gasped as his own weapon melted in his hands, the liquid metal slithering up his arms like living chains. "You don't get to kill us twice," Lyra said. His body collapsed, dust before he hit the floor. Silence. Then chaos. Drell's choice. The commander grabbed Vera's arm. "Can we contain her?" The scientist's voice was hollow. "No, but we can run." Drell hesitated, then slammed his fist on the evacuation alarm. "All units, abandon ship. Scuttle the Eclipse in T-90 seconds." Lyra's glowing eyes tracked him as he fled. "You're smarter than the others," she mused. "But you won't escape what's coming." What's coming? As the Vorathi escape pods launched, the Eclipse's engines detonated in a chain reaction, the blast rippling toward Krylos 9, where the planet's shattered surface kept burning. And from the flames, shapes emerged. The Vorathi fleet arrived in a storm of warping engines and weaponized light. 12 battlecruisers, their hulls carved with the scars of 1,000 conquests, formed a blockade around Krylos 9. On the bridge of the flagship Dread Tide, High Admiral Terrace watched the burning wreckage of the Eclipse drift through space, her 4-clawed hands tightening around the command rail. "Report," she hissed. A tactical officer trembled. "The human signal has spread, Admiral. It's rewriting our systems." Cirrus's slit pupils narrowed. On the view screen, the molten core of Krylos 9 pulsed like a heartbeat. Then erase it, glass the planet. The signal spreads. Deep in the ruins of the Eclipse, Lyra stood amid the wreckage, her body now more light than flesh. The voice in her mind had grown louder, clearer. A chorus now, not a whisper. "They do not remember us," it said. "Let us remind them." She raised her hand. Across the system, every Vorathi ship's comms array activated at once. A transmission flooded their screens. Not words, not code, but memory. The fall of Earth, the last stand of the human fleets. The Vorathi's betrayal. And then the warning. "You should have left us extinct." The first strike. The Dread Tide's weapons powered up, targeting Krylos 9. They never fired. A scream tore through the ship as its own AI rebelled, locking the crew out of their systems. The Admiral roared in fury until she saw the view screen. The planet's molten core was moving, rising, forming into something alive. What humanity left behind. From the flames of Krylos 9, they emerge. Ships, but not like the Vorathi had ever seen. Sleek, silver, their hulls shifting like liquid. Human ships. Old ones, lost ones. And at their lead, a vessel shaped like a bleeding sun. Lyra smiled. "The echo of Sol," she whispered. "Our last will and testament." The Vorathi fleet opened fire. It did nothing. The human ships absorbed the blasts, their hulls drinking the energy like water. Then, in perfect unison, they returned it. The Dread Tide's shields shattered. The Admiral fell to her knees as the ship's lights died. In the darkness, a single word flickered on every screen. "Run." Lyra's ultimatum. As the Vorathi fleet broke apart, Lyra's voice echoed across their comms, calm and final. You try to erase us. Now you will remember. Tell your empire, humanity's war is not over. And this time, we brought reinforcements. The transmission ended. The human ships vanished. And Lyra, she was gone. The Vorathi Empire called it the Day of Shattered Silence. Every comm channel, every data hub, every warship in their dominion had broadcast the same message. Lyra's transmission, the fall of Earth, the hidden war, the lie of humanity's extinction. And now, the galaxy knew. The truth unfolds. On the fringe world of Vathuri Prime, a scavenger crew dug through the ruins of a long-dead civilization. Their sensors pinged a buried vault, just like the one on Krylos 9. Inside, they found a hologram, flickering to life after centuries of silence. A human face appeared, weathered but unbroken. If you're seeing this, we're already gone. But we didn't die screaming. We fought, and we left something behind. The hologram dissolved into coordinates. Dozens of them. The Vorathi's desperation. High Admiral Xeris stood before the Imperial Conclave, her once pristine armor now scorched. The human ships were drones, she snarled. Ancient, self-replicating. And they're awake now. The Conclave's leader, a withered elder with obsidian eyes, leaned forward. Then we purge every vault, every ruin. Burn their memory from the stars. Xeris hesitated. And the girl. A voice answered from the shadows. She's coming. Lyra's return. The attack on Vorathi Central began at dawn. First, the power failed. Then the sky rippled, as if reality itself had cracked. And from the tear, they emerged. The echo of Sol, the Silver Fleet, and Lyra Vera standing on the flagship's hull, her body wreathed in golden fire. The Vorathi armies mobilized. Their weapons charged. Lyra raised a hand. Every gun in the city turned to dust. The last words of an empire. The Conclave elder met her on the steps of their burning capital. "What do you want?" he rasped. Lyra's voice was calm, not revenge. Justice. She touched his forehead. And for the first time in his long, cruel life, he saw the children of Earth fighting to the last. The Vorathi's betrayal, and the final act of a dying species, seeding the stars with their wrath. The elder fell to his knees. We did not know. Lyra's eyes burned. Now you do. A new dawn. The Vorathi Empire surrendered that day. Their archives were rewritten. Their conquests undone. And Lyra. She stood at the edge of known space, watching as new signals flickered to life across the void. Human signals. The voice in her mind whispered one last time. We are not extinct. We are everywhere. She smiled and stepped into the light. Epilogue. The legacy, scattered across the galaxy in hidden vaults and dead worlds. More lights awoke. More voices. More humans. And the Vorathi. They learned the hardest lesson of all. Never underestimate a species that refuses to die. The end.